I'm using props for this video, and you'll understand why as we get into it. Many of you know what this headset is. It's part of a pair of headsets that a lot of fans are using nowadays at the tracks to talk to each other in noisy situations. You can hook up 2 or 3 of them. This particular set is just to hook up 2 headsets to one another so we can hear, because a lot of tracks, especially Bristol, you can't talk in the stands. But what I want to get into, I'm going to call this video 48 Lugnut Gate Indy. What I want to get into is whose fault was it on that final pit stop that Jimmie Johnson had a long pit stop and eventually came out and finished second in the race behind winner Ryan Newman. Well, was it the fault of the tire changer? No. And here's why. Had he sent that car out with only 4 lug nuts attached on that right rear wheel, NASCAR would have brought him back in and they would have finished well back, probably still on the lead lap, but well back. So actually a good move on the tire changer's part. In fact, after the race on Race Hub, he was called a hero. Is it the fault of the person who glued the lug nuts on? Frankly, no, although I don't understand. I've seen a spring-loaded setup held in by a little bolt used at short tracks that can't fall off. I guess NASCAR won't let them use that particular setup. Probably worried about the little nut or bolt falling on the track, but I've seen it used successfully. And on the pit stop, where the fans can do the pit stops, that's generally what's used so they don't fall off. Is it the fault of the person that ordered the glue? The weather stripping, or whatever teams are using nowadays. It used to be weather stripping. I haven't heard what it is lately. No. It was unseasonably cool for this time of year in Indianapolis, and frankly, I'm only about 100 miles from Indianapolis, and it was kind of cool here as well. But whose fault is it? None of the people I've mentioned. Now, here's what, if it happened during that pit stop, Jimmie Johnson would have finally won the race. Chad Knaus, seeing the problem on that pit stop on the right rear, which he had a TV view, I'm sure, could have reached up there, pushed that button, rights only, rights only. And Jimmie Johnson probably would have won the race. These things are actually, compared to the other style headsets, uncomfortable, but they're nice to use. But that's just been my opinion. Jimmie Johnson could easily have 5 wins, and frankly, after Pocono, where he dominated the first half, but then had the blowed tire, and he still come all the way back to 13th, just like Kentucky. After he got spun on a late restart, went way the back of the lead lap and come all the way up to 9th. But it's just been my opinion. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but in my opinion, it was Chad Knaus' fault for not, well, as they say, calling audible right in the middle of the pit stops. Rights only.